when I was a kid, I kind of, like I always say, I kind of grew up in the middle of nowhere. So I always had like woods in the backyard, and I always would just explore and kind of ask way too many questions just to kind of figure out what was happening. So it's just like this really cool curiosity of just nature. We are a early stage biotech company, so we're working on therapeutics for staph infections. So currently we have a vaccine project, and then we also are developing monoclonal antibody therapies. We're the only vaccine company in the space that I know of, and I think we're still pretty small compared to everybody else in the space. It's also interesting in that we're really the only pathogen company in the space. Immunartes was my first job after postdoc, so it was actually what my family likes to say is my first real job. So I was actually the first scientist here, so I was involved in really setting everything up here, and I got to really just see us build in Portal. My role now is, early on, I helped develop a lot of the preclinical assays that we do now. And now I'm kind of transitioning a little bit where I kind of do more kind of the bigger assay development, and then I oversee some of our newer scientists developing and kind of doing more of the day-to-day of let's do this assay on a bunch of samples we have. But the interesting thing about staph is it actually colonizes humans. So about 30% of people just have staph hanging out in their nose and on their skin. And that's actually a pretty big risk factor for infection. So a third of the population just has staph, and whenever you get a cut or like something happens and it can get inside, that's when it can start to cause infection. It's interesting in that everything seems to go a lot faster. And it's kind of, you still have some room to kind of explore kind of curiosity questions, but it's kind of very limited in the scope. You can't just do something because you want to know what it does. Your questions have to be more targeted of like, how does this help advance this assay or kind of this area of research? Microbiology seems to be a little bit neglected. Kind of in like the biotech space. Maybe it's just kind of a Chicago specific thing, but you don't see a lot of really smaller vaccine companies or just like microbiology focused, bacteria focused companies. I think we're getting to the point where we can do so many cool things. So part of why I got into microbiology is like metabolic metabolism. The field of synthetic biology and like the tools we have now, we can design bacteria to do so much cooler metabolism. And I think we can really make cool, just like strides in making kind of just the world better, or just cool like product development and stuff like that. So currently now we're in a stage where we're kind of scaling up the production of our vaccine. And then we're funded by an NIH contract. So this contract would actually bring us into a phase 1 clinical trial. So within kind of the 2-year timeframe, if everything goes well, we would be in a phase 1 with the vaccine.